One of the most treasured exhibits at the Lincolnshire Aviation Heritage Centre is our German 60 cm Searchlight. The Searchlight was acquired by Fred and Harold Panton about 15 years ago in a very dilapidated state. German Searchlights were built in three main sizes: 60, 150 and 200 centimetres. They were used to detect and track enemy aircraft, although smaller 60 centimetre searchlights were also used by the German Navy for signalling. These searchlights were fitted with hand-operated shutters to allow the sending of Morse code over long distances. The normal crew of a German searchlight is three. There was two on the generator, one sat on the searchlight itself. And the way that they signalled the generator for more power or less power or more light was by this simple Morse code system which illuminated a light on the generator, and it was operated by this switch on the floor. So if you wanted, say, more speed, you would give it 3 dots, or less speed, 3 dashes. So it was a basic system, but it worked really well. The Searchlight completely is manually operated, and you can see this is the up and down movement, and it will rotate once it's off its trailer 360 degrees. The German Searchlight we have here is a 3-rod arc system, and the rods are controlled by a complex mechanism. The mechanism is actually in this unit here. And as you can see, it's like a Swiss watch mechanism. If I turn this control knob here, you can see how it works the levers to rotate and increase the rod as it burns away inside the Searchlight. It's really far sophisticated to the British one, which was just chains and cogs. These are also current operated solenoids which operate as the Searchlight comes in to strike the arc and move the small rod away, which we'll explain later. We've just taken the rear off the Searchlight, and this has exposed the 3 carbon rods that actually make the arc to make the Searchlight light. When you initially start it, you get an initial arc between these 2 small rods, and then as the current starts to draw, this moves away and the arc is then between the 2 larger rods. This is a cathode and this is the anode. And as the Searchlight works and the rods burn away, this particular rod turns with the mechanism, and then it moves in to keep a constant gap, so you've got a really good arc. These are the arc rods that we use. They're actually genuine World War II rods that we were acquired from somewhere, and as you can see, they're in the original container with the original German writing. As I explained earlier, the system works on 3 carbon rods. We've got an anode rod, a positive rod, and a cathode rod, a negative rod. And because carbon burns fairly quickly, the rods are actually doped. As you can see at the end of this one, there's a hole through the middle of the rod, and it's doped with lithium and cerium, which is an earth salt. And as the rod burns down, the rod actually turns and moves forward onto the cathode rod. After having a detailed look at the Searchlight, we'll now focus on the generator. The 2 were bought together, and the generator was in the worst of condition. We're looking at the BMW 6-cylinder engine, and this is the carburettor side, the induction side of the engine, and we've got a downdraft Solex carburettor which is gravity fed with fuel from the fuel tank above. The ignition system on the generator engine is a magneto, and we understand that these engines were fitted to the pre-war 6-cylinder open-top German Taurus of the era. The engine is coupled directly to the DC generator which powers the Searchlight. This is the 8 kilowatt generator that powers our Searchlight, and as you can see, it's very sophisticated. It's got dials and temperature gauges to let you know what the engine temperature are. and various switches which are marked in German. Some of them we understand, some of them we don't, but we've had quite a bit of guesswork and translating German on an iPhone to find out what they are. But basically this is your fuel supply here, the on and off switch for the generator, and this increases the field current on the generator to lower or higher the output voltage. All these gauges are oil pressure, temperature gauge and fuel. And also it's got this unique Morse signalling lamp which is here, and the feed from the generator with that the signal comes down plugs into this item here, and this flashes. So if the operator on the Searchlight wants to send a signal to say put the revs up or more power, he'll send a Morse message on this which will be red, which will flash on and off, and then he will reply to say that he's actually received it. Very sophisticated panel, and with it being German it's very well built. Yeah, the Searchlight is powered by this massive great heavy duty cable which is fastened onto these terminals, and now I'm going to ask Keith to go over and start the generator.